researching and presenting 5 to 7 minutes. The title of her speech is Connectors, Mavens, and Salesmen. Let me welcome Margarita.
Good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good
Part of this project today has to do with researching, right? So I brought two of my favorite books. The first one is called Think and Grow Rich. This is a classic. It was written in the 1930s, and it's still a classic today, and a lot of the principles that it has in this book still hold true. The second one is The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. Now, the first one, it's interesting because both of these books are very interconnected. Malcolm Gladwell talks about the essence of an epidemic, or what we call today going viral. He says that in order for something to take off, whether it's a beautiful pair of Gucci's or your favorite meal, there has to be 3 types of people. The first type is the connector. The connector is the person that knows people from all socioeconomic status, all ethnicities, all professions. And a lot of people gravitate towards connectors because, number one, either they just want to be near them, or number 2, they want to be near them so they could get to the next level in their life. Connectors have to be really careful in that respect because they can be taken for granted because they never know the reasons why the person's come near them. But needless to say, everybody in life needs a connector. Sometimes in the corporate world, connectors are actually called mentors. Because if you have a mentor that's up in the executive status, that person can connect you to other people, and that makes you become viral, right? So if you want to be known, you need a connector. So the next is the maven. The maven is the person that is in charge of education. The maven is not a connector. They're simply the ones that teach you. They do the research. My friend Gail over here, she's definitely a maven. If you want to find anything about any subject, Gail will look it up and she will find it.
I will look it up.
She's very detailed. She looks up everything. She is a maven. So if you want to know someone who's a maven, she's it right here. I would say for myself, I'm definitely a connector. Manny's a connector. Most speakers are connectors. The last is the salesman, because connectors and mavens cannot do anything without the salesman. The salesman is the persuader. They are the ones that could twist and turn either negative or positive, because according to Think and Grow Rich, energy, whether positive or negative, is available to everyone. Energy does not choose whether something is moral or immoral. It's just available to everyone. A person who's a salesman can convince anybody that what they're doing is good, acceptable, or they can convince someone that this particular idea is so interesting and so dynamic that it could change the world, right? So let's look at this. What kind of person do you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself a connector, a maven, or a salesman?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Dorcas?
A connector.
A connector.
I'm in.
I'm not sure.
I said
Connector.
a connector.
A little bit of all 3.
No, well, 3. Well, and that's really an acceptable term. Some people are both mavens and connectors, because once they connect with someone, they start researching, and then they become mavens. So you still need the persuader to get you to the next level. So I decided to deliver this talk on these 3 subjects today because they have greatly, all the information here has affected me in so many different ways. My father, who's now in heaven, was definitely a connector and a maven. You know, he loved researching and information, and he would try to convince. Actually, he was all three because he would try to convince you, and he usually won every single time. And my mother would just tell him like, "Get out of the way." Where's the timer? I just want to make sure I'm not going over time. Okay. So, I want you to consider, what are you? Are you a connector? Are you a maven? Are you a salesman? Are you all three? Think about your goals, like Manny was mentioning before. Think about the goals that you want to achieve in life. If you're a maven, if you have all of this education, find yourself a connector, right? If you're a salesman, but you have no basis, find yourself a maven and a connector. So in other words, all three are important to one another. One cannot exist without the other. Now there's something that I'm going to read to you from Think and Grow Rich. Let's see. It says here. Okay. Never is a long time. And he mentions here about a director of the Vienna Court Opera. That was a long time ago in the 1930s. So anyway, the director of the Vienna Court Opera knew much about the technique of singing. He knew little about the power of desire, when it assumes the proportion of an obsession. If he had known more of that power, he would not have made the mistake of condemning genius without giving it an opportunity. Now, sometimes power is involved in all of this. Behind it is the power of good, right? Behind everything in our lives, we have to figure out, what's the purpose? What's the reason? Do we want to succeed because we want to help our fellow man? Do we want to succeed because we have an ulterior motive? We have to think about those things, and we have to be responsible. Let's learn to be excellent connectors, mavens, and salesmen with a beautiful moral behind it, so that society can then benefit from your mission. Thank you.